Hi, everybody. It's Dee Reinhardt with Illinois WorkNet. We are doing our technical assistance call today for Apprenticeship Illinois. And just to get started right off the bat, we're going to talk about the apprenticeship dashboard. If you have entered participants that are case managed, they will show in this list. But we have a new toy for you to play with that will be on production by tomorrow, if not later today. I'll show you that it's in the reporting section. But just to let you guys know, if you've got anything coming up, this is where we're going to be checking in the future. Is we're going to be checking this dashboard to see who's getting what numbers where. And then let me minimize this. Just to let you know, I am in test right now, but this will be going to production, like I said, by tomorrow on the reports under your customer support center. The reports that looks like the little bar graph, you can pick your program and it will filter to the reports that are available for that program. I don't think that filter's working right now. But Apprenticeship Illinois reports is what you will want to look for. And under Apprenticeship Illinois reports, we now have the ability for you to pick your program if you have the responsibility for more than one. I think Mantricon has 3 in here and somebody else has 2. So there might be 3 options in here for you. The participant type, we have this broken down by case managed, represented by a CM, incumbent worker, represented by an IW, and other impacted individuals, which should be other individuals impacted, is represented by OII. And then we can filter by that. So if I select the OII option and hit filter, it will give me a list of the other individuals impacted that I have entered into the system. I can pick dates by program year and then quarter, and then the numbers will roll from quarter to quarter on some of the reports. And then if you want to show a cumulative year, you'll be able to pick all 4 quarters. Otherwise, you can filter by date. When you are looking at the information on this page, this is your customer list. This is the default landing page for the reports. And this will show you, let me get all of them up here. This will show you all of the people, who the provider is, the participant type, how were they impacted by the grant, and that is, there's 3 options, and those are all entered on the OII form right now, but I do have a feeling that we're going to be adding that to some of the eligibility information. Program start date, first name, last name, occupation, which is their apprentice occupation, who their apprenticeship sponsor is. And then for case managed, you will be able to click on the edit and edit the individual. If it's an incumbent worker, you will edit and be taken to the IWTS system. And if it's OII, you will be able to delete the person and re-upload the information. Now for reports, we do plan to have an export button that will be on production. And we will also be adding a button to add success stories. And I'm going to show you those in just a moment. From the reports page, right now, we only have the other individuals impacted available at this time, but we will have 2 other reports, a cumulative report as well as a quarterly report that will be available. And on here, again, you'll be able to select the provider. It will default land on the quarter that we are physically within. So like this is Q2 of PY 2020, and then it's a rolling series of quarters. If you want to go back to Q1, because that's where you knew you uploaded most of your people, you can hit that and filter, and you'll be taken to a list of those people, which is the customer list that we just came from. The other reports will be available. We're probably going to have a selection bar very similar to the provider bar, where you'll be able to pick the other two types of reports. Any questions about the reports right now? From the customer list, when you go to upload other individuals impacted, this will be live tomorrow. So you will be able to start tracking your other individuals impacted. So if you need to download the spreadsheet, you can do that here. Otherwise, it can be found on the partner guide. If you want to then fill in that information, maybe save it as a date. You can upload 100 individuals at one time. If you want to save it and only upload 10 or 20 at a time, you can do that. And then there is no naming convention for this, so it doesn't have to be named the exact same thing that it gets downloaded. So if you want to save it by a month or by a quarter, you can do that. And then you just choose the file that you want to upload, and it will upload those individuals from that file. Then you just have to click the upload button. So if you're ready to go tomorrow with uploading some OII folks, you can do that along with adding any of your fully case managed individuals. Once we get into production, we will sync IWTS individuals into this customer list, but we do not have that functioning right now in test. All righty. Next, we're going to go to, oops, let me minimize this. Next, we're going to go to success stories. And on success stories, we have the ability to submit a success story now. You can do this, and I believe Patrick will tell you that you are required to submit a success story, what, at least quarterly, Patrick? Is your mic working? Otherwise, you can chat it to me. But anyway, we now have the option for you to be able to submit a community success story. So you probably all have added at one point or another a participant or an employer success story. So the community—
Indeed, that is correct, quarterly.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. The information for the community is just a hair different than the employer or the participant. The community information means who is submitting it on behalf of that project. You will be able to select from incumbent worker, Apprenticeship Illinois. We're adding, we have the DHS youth programs, if it's laid off worker. Any of these items are on here. If there's another program we need to add, just let us know and we can get that added for you. Once you pick the program, then you can put in the provider name and address information. It does require a +4 zip code that you can find by going to the post USPS and entering the address. It will give you the +4. Current pathway has 29 options to select from. So it's more than our Illinois 16 career pathways. Program detail type, we have training, we have help getting a job, or if you want to add an event, you can do that as well. Are there any particular credentials that were earned? What is the impacted geographic area? And we will be adding legislative districts for the state. In addition to, we already track congressional districts. So if you're impacting your particular House district or Senate district, you can track that information as well. We have some populations served. We have a number of them for individuals who might have been impacted. And then we also have associations, business, chamber of commerce, government, not-for-profits, schools, unions, and you can always pick other. Then there are tips to write a success story. You can enter a title, which is required, the story, which is required. If you want to know how to write a good success story, check out the tips, because we've got some good information in here that will help you beef up your story. You will be required to upload a photo, because no story is any good without a photo to go along with it. So if you get a good image of a participant or a group of people, make sure that you take that image. Review the terms of use agreement, and then check that box and click Save the Story. When you have saved the story, someone from Illinois WorkNet will review it to make sure that you have everything written properly, that there's no offensive language or bad words, or the grammar is horrendous. We want it to be a good representation, because it does show up on our WIOA Works website. Now, if you want to get to the success stories, I thought I had that window open. Let me look for it here for a moment. Too many things open. All right, so let me go to Illinois WorkNet and show you where you can see. Once you get into Illinois WorkNet, the success stories can be found under Updates and Help. And you go to Success Stories. Once we have success stories added, then the additional filters for the population served, the event, all of those different pieces will all show up in the search filters. But right now we don't have any stories that fall under those filters. And like I said, we will be adding the state legislative districts as a filterable option. So if you want to select a participant type, go to employer. We've got stories there right now, and we can see all of the stories, see how the ones with the pictures kind of pop at you a little bit better. And then you can review them and read them. And as Patrick said, we need one per quarter from your agency. All right, the next thing that I want to show you guys, there are a few people who are not on the call that need to do this. But under the service finder, we go to, and under Network and Connect, the Illinois WorkNet service finder. Everybody who is participating in WIOA or in another program is responsible to keep your information up to date on the Illinois WorkNet service finder. And what this does is it helps participants who might be interested in your program find somebody local that they can use. Most people who are WIOA providers are updated on a regular basis, but if you are not currently part of a WIOA program, your partnership may need to be entered, or your location may need to be updated. So what you would do is you would add or edit a location right here. Sometimes your contact information needs to be updated. Perhaps somebody has retired and that was your primary contact. Or maybe they changed jobs and that was your primary contact. You just need to make sure that your address information and your contact information is current and up to date when you are working on this. So let me look for Western Illinois Works. And I'm not seeing their name in here. So they would need to add their provider information. So go in here, look for your organization, just to make sure that you are in. So JJ, I'm gonna use you as an example. I'm gonna now look for Danville area community college. So like, see right here, we've got 3 different opportunities for Danville area community college. So if I apply the filters and I look, if I have access to this, which I do because I have state access, I can click the edit button. And if you don't have access to edit, all you have to do is either send me an email or send info@illinoisworknet.com an email, and we will get the contacts updated. So let's look right now, let's just look at the contacts to make sure that everybody is there. So we have, are these still all current contacts for the college, JJ?
Yes, for DAC they are.
All right. All right, so that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So please check your service finder information. Watch for the updates to the reports on tomorrow. By tomorrow, if we don't see them, or if you don't see them, please send me an email so that I can make sure that your access is appropriate. Patrick, is there anything that you would like to add and tell the group?
No, not right now. We have an apprenticeship committee meeting next week on the 10th. So we look forward to providing some additional updates during that committee meeting. And we should be reaching out to everyone to set up our quarterly meetings with them for technical assistance.
Great. I have 10 people out of 12 that have checked in. So if you have not checked in on the poll, I would appreciate you do. Oh, you know what? That might be the 2 phone numbers that are logged in.
Oh, that one of the phone numbers is me, Dee.
Okay.
But again, we are tracking who is going through these and reviewing them. And the expectation is that everyone will be participating in these, either recorded or in person. Dee, where will they find the recorded version?
The recorded version is on the partner page. And let me show everybody quickly here. Oh, of course not. All right, so let me do this. And let me do this. So the recordings can be found here under partner training materials and videos. So we had our last meeting on the 23rd. I'm sorry, I'm looking at December's calendar. We had our last meeting on the 25th. I need to change this November 4th to the 25th, and then we'll put today's recording up here for December 2nd.
Right, and so if there's any that anyone has missed, please ensure that you have participated in that. It is part of the scope of work on these grants, and we are going to be checking that and going over that with when we do our quarterly reviews. So please make sure if you've missed any of these, that you view the recorded version.
All righty. Well, everybody have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you next week. Bye now.